Okay, Japan starts with 45 IPCs. 5 was spent on tech, which they received, and the tech that they got was shipyards, so all of these ships are going to be discounted. They're going to save an IPC for next turn. They're going to spend 12 IPCs on 2 transports, because transports under improved shipyards are only 6 IPCs each. They're going to buy a factory for 12, and for 15 they're going to buy a cruiser, which is discounted to 10, and a submarine, which is discounted to 5. They have several attacks that they are going to declare. The ground attacks are mainly in China. The infantry from Johor will walk into Shahar. The infantry and artillery from Shantung and the 4 infantry and artillery from Anhui will attack, or from Kiangsu will attack Anhui. The fighter and tactical bomber in Kiangsu will attack Kwai Chau as an air attack only. They can't take the territory, but they can kill the infantry that's there. The infantry from Kiangsi will walk into Hunan. The fighter in Formosa will take part in the Anhui battle. And there's a fair amount of stuff coming into Yunnan. 2 infantry and an artillery from French Indochina, 3 infantry and an artillery from Guangxi. Burma will be attacked with 2 infantry from Shan State and the fighter from French Indochina. Down there in the Pacific, there are 2 amphibious landings. An infantry and an artillery from Celebes are going to be landing in Sumatra, and an infantry from Celebes is going to be landing in Java. There's also an amphibious landing in New Guinea. The 2 infantry from New Britain, along with an offshore shot from the cruiser in C-Zone 47 will be attacking C-Zone 46, and the infantry that's on Dutch New Guinea will be attacking New Guinea as well. There are also 2 naval attacks in the Pacific against the American Navy. So here's what we have happening here. C-Zone 13 will be attacked by the bomber from Japan, the destroyer from C-Zone 24, and the fighter and tactical bomber from C-Zone 24 as well. C-Zone 26 will be attacked with the battleship and the carrier, along with the 2 planes on the carrier from C-Zone 6, the carrier from C-Zone 24, the carrier from C-Zone 31 with its plane, and the cruiser from C-Zone 31. In addition, the fighter from the C-Zone 33 carrier will also take part in that attack. I think that's all of the combats, so we'll start rolling them out. Okay, this is the battle for Anhui. 5 infantry, 2 artillery, and a fighter. 3 of the infantry are unsupported, and 2 of the infantry are supported, and then there's the fighter. 3 hits, they only needed 2. The defending Chinese get 2 defense rolls, and they hit 1 infantry. So 1 infantry is killed, and the Japanese take the territory. Okay, this is an airstrike on Kwai Chau. The territory cannot be captured, but of course the infantry can still be killed. A 3 and a 4 hit. So we just have to hope that they don't take out a plane. And they don't. So the infantry is killed, but of course the territory is still held. Okay, the battle for Yunnan. The Japanese are coming in with 3 unsupported infantry and 2 supported infantry. 2 hits, that's all they needed. And no Chinese response, so Japan takes the territory with no casualties. Okay, the battle for Burma, 2 infantry and a fighter. 2 hits. We only needed 1. England fires back and misses. Japan takes the territory with no casualties. It's the amphibious landing in New Guinea. The Japanese transport Aratama Maru is dropping off 2 infantry. There's an infantry coming from Dutch New Guinea, and then there's a offshore shot from the Ashigara cruiser. 2 hits, they only need 1, so territory's taken. And no defense. Alright, this is the attack on Sea Zone 13. The Japanese destroyer Fubuki, along with a fighter and a tactical bomber from the Japanese carrier Akagi, are attacking, and of course a strategic bomber, are attacking the USS Clark destroyer and the USS Missouri battleship. The Missouri will get a chance to fire its anti-aircraft at the 3 planes, and it misses with all 3, which is good news for the Japanese. Okay, so 2 2s for the strategic bomber, 2 for the destroyer, a 3 for the fighter, and a 4 for the tactical bomber. So let's roll the dice. 2 hits. So that's going to be damaging the battleship and killing the destroyer. So these guys will fly away. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so a 2 and a 4. 2 hits. Okay, so that's going to be the destroyer, and I guess the tactical bomber, because the fighter's better for defense. Okay. So we have a 3 against a 2 left, because this guy can't shoot anymore, and this guy is damaged. So a 3 hit versus a 2 hit. Okay, so we'll lose the fighter, and the strap bomber will fly away. So the sea zone is cleared, but it was rather expensive to do so. Okay, this is the attack on Sea Zone 26. Excuse me. There are 3 carriers: the Shinyo, the Akagi, and the Kaga, along with a cruiser, the Takao, and a battleship, the Yamashiro. 3 fighters and a tactical bomber are coming from the various carriers, and 1 tactical bomber is coming from Japan and landing on any remaining carriers. The Americans are defending with the SS William S. Ladd transport, the SS 197 Seawolf, and the SS 228 Drum submarines, the USS Yorktown carrier, and the USS Boyd destroyer, along with the fighter that was on the carrier, and the 2 fighters are scrambling from Hawaii. So here we go. So that's the cruiser, 3 fighters, a battleship, and 2 tactical bombers. 2 hits. So those are the 2 submarines. That was disappointing. Okay, 2 1s for the subs, a 2 for the carrier, a 2 for the destroyer, and 3 4s for the fighters. 3 hits. Okay, so we're going to take damage on... we're just going to kill one of the battleships, or sorry, one of the carriers, so that's 2 hits. And a fighter. We'll kill the fighter that only has no movement left. Okay, again, we'll keep going. That die is gone. Two hits. Wow, these are terrible rolls. Okay, they'll kill the carrier completely. Okay, so that's these 2 and these 3. One hit. Okay, we'll lose the cruiser. Alright, so we've got 1 of those and 3 of those. Okay, so the cruiser's gone, that's 2 of these and 3 of these. Okay. 3 hits, that's better. So 1, 2, 3. And that guy's the only guy that's left. 3 hits. Okay, we will damage one of the carriers. And we will lose a fighter and a tactical bomber. And I think we will retreat. To Wake Island. So the remaining forces will retreat to Wake. Alright. So that's the end of that battle. Okay, non-combat for Japan. The fighter that participated in the Anhui attack will land in Kiangsu. The fighter and the tactical bomber that participated in the Kwaichao attack will land in Guangxi. The infantry from Kwangtung will move to Guangxi. The fighter that participated in the Burma attack will land in French Indochina. The infantry from Siam will go to French Indochina. The infantry from Malaya will go to Shan State. And some naval moves down in the Pacific. The cruiser from 37 will go to Sea Zone 42. The submarine from 35 will go to 42. The battleship and the destroyer from 44 will go to 42. The destroyer from 35 is going to go to 46. The destroyer and the sub from 47 are going to go to 46 as well. Over here, the carrier from 33 is going to end up in 31. The fighter from Japan is going to land on one of the carriers in 31, and the fighter and the attack bomber from 26 are going to land on one of the carriers in 31 as well. The bomber that participated in the Sea Zone 13 attack is going to land on Wake Island. There's an airbase there. So that's... Oh, sorry. And the fighter and the attack bomber from Manchuria are going to land in Japan. So that's that. I'll tidy this up and we'll come back with placements. Okay, placement of new units. The 2 transports are going into Sea Zone 6. The new cruiser is going into Sea Zone 6, and the new submarine is going into Sea Zone 6. The new factory is going down in French Indochina. We have to make some adjustments to the income tracker. They're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4 IPCs from China. They're going to get 1 IPC from the UK. And they're going to get 8 IBCs from the Dutch. And they do change ownership as well of New Guinea. Even though that's not worth anything. Okay, in terms of income, we have to make the adjustments here. Okay, so on the chart, we go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 at the expense of the Chinese, which go from 12 to 8. We go up 1 at the expense of the British, which go from 32 to 31. And we go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 at the expense of the Dutch, but we don't track the Dutch money. So 58 IPCs is, I'll zoom out here, 58 IPCs is what Japan gets as a base income. They saved an IPC from last turn. They get 5 national objectives. They get 3 IPCs for holding Guam, 3 IPCs for holding Wake, 3 IPCs for holding the Gilberts, and 5 IPCs for holding the Money Islands of Borneo, Celebes, Java, and Sumatra, and 5 IPCs for holding Burma. So that's 58, 59, 62, 65, 68, 78 IPCs that Japan is going to have for next turn. So let's start doing our disposition of forces. Okay. In the home islands, on Japan proper, there is a tactical bomber, a fighter, 4 infantry, 1 artillery, 1 tank, and 1 anti-aircraft. In C-Zone 6, there's a cruiser, a sub, and 2 transports. In Iwo Jima, there's an infantry. In Wake, there is an infantry and a strategic bomber. In the C-Zone surrounding Wake, which is C-Zone 31, there are 3 carriers, one of which is damaged. 1 carrier has a fighter, 1 carrier has a fighter and a tactical bomber, and there is a battleship as well. In the Gilberts, there is an infantry. In the Carolines, there are 2 infantry. Actually, let me just check. Is there supposed to be a anti-aircraft artillery there, or no? I don't think so in this version. Oh yes, there is supposed to be an anti-aircraft artillery. I must have missed that when I was setting up. So yes, 2 infantry and whoops, wait a minute, sorry. I think actually no in this version. Let me just double check again. No, not in this version. So I was right. Okay. So sorry, 2 infantry in the Carolines, 1 infantry in Guam, 1 infantry in Palau, 3 infantry in New Guinea, and in C-Zone 46, a cruiser, 2 destroyers, a submarine, and a transport. In the Philippines, 2 infantry. In C-Zone 42, 1 transport, 1 battleship, 1 cruiser, 1 destroyer, and 1 submarine. In Java, 1 infantry. In Borneo, 1 infantry. In Sumatra, an infantry and an artillery. In C-Zone 41, a transport. In French Indochina, 1 infantry and 1 fighter. In Shan State, 1 infantry. In Burma, 2 infantry. In Yunnan, 5 infantry, 2 artillery. In Guangxi, 1 infantry, 1 TAC bomber, and 1 fighter. In Hunan, 1 infantry. In Anhui, 4 infantry and 2 artillery. In Kiangsu, 1 fighter. In Shahar, 1 infantry. In Manchuria, 3 infantry and an artillery. In Korea, 1 infantry. And finally, in Okinawa, 1 infantry. I think I got the Iwo infantry as well. Okay, so United States will be up next, and we'll see what they do with their big navy. Just realized at the end of the turn I have to make a slight adjustment for the Japanese. I overcharged myself $2 on the 2 transports. I thought the transports went from 7 to 6, but they go from 7 to 5. Transports are extraordinarily cheap with the improved shipyards. So the Japanese had $1 left, And with the extra $2 they have, that gives them enough to buy one more infantry. So we are going to put an additional infantry into Japan. So instead of 4 infantry in Japan, there are 5 infantry in Japan. And Japan will not save the extra dollar. So their IPC count to take into the next turn will be 77 IPCs instead of 78 IPCs.